Hey guys, so remember you need to watch, listen, and take notes on this video, and I will be checking these notes tomorrow in class. Um, so a couple of things is that the section that you're going to be learning about today is volume of prisms and cylinders. So remember, prisms are your 3D shapes. They're rectangular prisms and triangular prisms that we dealt with, and then the cylinders are a cylinder. Those are the ones with the bases that are two circles, top and bottom, and then we have the height that connects the two. So with that, remember, watch, listen, and take notes. I will be checking these notes tomorrow when I get back. So first thing we're going to do is volume of a prism. So the volume of a prism is volume equals base times your height. But remember, this base is different than like the base of just a regular 2D figure. This base is the area of your base. So you need to find the area of your big B down here. So this is the area of your base because that's what the big B stands for. The H stands for the height. So the height is on the side. That's what connects the two bases. It's the distance between your two bases there. So you might need to pause the video so you can copy this example down, copy down the formula down, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. But you can pause the video if you need to. So these are going to be our two examples of rectangular prisms, and then we'll look at a triangular prism after this. So remember, again, I'm going to write the volume formula up here. So volume is big B times little h. So the big B stands for the area of our base. So what I am constituting as our base in this example 1 here is going to be this piece right here. That's going to be the base, and then I'm going to find the area of. So my area, so my B, in order to find the area of that base, it's length times, it's length times width, or base times height. So with that, we have the 9 times the 17. And so 9 times 17 is going to give us 153 centimeters squared, since we're dealing with area again. So the 153 is now going to be multiplied by our height, and our height here is the 24 centimeters. Again, that's what connects the top base, this base right here, to this bottom base below. So now for our volume formula, we're going to do 153 times the 24, and that is going to give us 3,672. Now, when we talk about volume is a little different than area. So remember, area we do squared, but volume we do cubed. So we have a little 3 up top. Oop, that looks awful. Let me redo that. And that still looks bad. What the heck? There we go. So our volume is 3,672 centimeters, and that's it. So we had our B, we have our height in the picture, and then we have our volume. So right now, what I'm going to do is pause the video, see if you can do example 2, and then I'm going to just put the answer on the screen for you. So I would pause the video and see if you can do number 2 on your own. All right, so if you did what I asked you to, here's the work for example number 2. So I found the area of this base right here, and our measurements was 10 by 14. And so from there, I multiplied 10 by 14 to get the area of our base, the big B, which I got 140 inches squared. And then from there, I just multiply the 140 inches squared by our height, which is the 4.5, because that's going from the base to the base. And I multiply that by 4.5 and I got 630 inches cubed. So now I am moving on. If you did not get that, I would change your work and look into where your mistake went, or where it came from, I'm sorry. All right, so here these are triangular prisms. So remember, we deal with triangular prisms and rectangular prisms. And those are the only two prisms that we deal with. So the triangular prism, we know it's a triangular prism because the two bases are triangles. And we only are going to be dealing with the right triangles as usual. But remember, we're going to be doing volume this time. So volume is base times the height. So again, we need the area of the base. So our base here is going to be our triangles. Luckily for you, we don't need to use Pythagorean theorem or anything because we already have the sides of our, we already have the base and the height of our actual just triangle itself in example number 3. So for the area of the base, we're going to do 10 times 6, which gives us 60 meters squared. And then we're going to multiply that by the height. And now the 5 is going to be the height. So with that being said, our volume, we're going to get it by multiplying 60 times the 5. Oops, I'm trying to make that multiplication sign a little bit bigger. 60 times the 5, and that's going to give us 300. And again, we're dealing with volume, so it's going to be meters cubed this time. All right, so now that I gave you an example to work off of, try example 4 on your own. Again, I'm going to pause the video, work out all my work so you can see it right away, and I suggest that you do the same. One little thing I will say about example 4 though is that how this piece right here is 3 feet, but look at the little tick marks on both sides of that triangle base. That they have the same amount of tick marks. So that also means that this piece right here is 3 feet as well. All right, now go ahead and try it. And you know what, guys? I just realized that I did my the area of the base completely wrong because I did not divide it by 2. So I am going back, hopefully, and I am erasing all of this because I did not divide my answer by 2. So the base area actually is 30 meters squared. So instead, my volume is going to be 30 times 5, which is going to give me 150 meters cubed. My apologies on that, guys. I completely forgot we were dealing with a triangle. But yes, the area of the base of a triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2 or multiplied by 1/2, whichever one you like to whichever one you prefer to do. So I'm sorry about that, but the volume for example 3 is the 150 meters cubed. Now go ahead and try example number 4. And if you did example 4 like I would like you to and you paused it and tried it yourself, you should have gotten 22.5 feet cubed as the volume. Your base and your height for just the big B right here, it was 3 times 3 because that is your base, that is your base right here, and that's your height right there. And then that 3 times 3 gives you the 9. The 9 divided by 2 will give you 4.5. So the big B is 4.5 feet squared. Multiply 4.5 by 5, you get 22.5 feet cubed. So that is the volume of example number 4. Again, you can pause this if you need to make changes to your example or if you need to copy down the work that I have. But we are going to be moving on. And we are going to be moving on to cylinders. So again, cylinders here. Here's your volume of a cylinder. You have pi, little r is radius like we've been dealing with, and h is the height of the cylinder. So if you need to pause this video to copy it down, go right and do so. I am going to move on, however, to our examples. So again, our volume formula is pi, r squared times the height. That could look a little better, but that's okay. I'm dealing with this little pen here and it's not working that great. All right, so here, the 18, since it's going from the center to the side of our circle, that is going to be our radius, and the 15 is going to be our height. So our volume formula is going to be pi 18 squared times 15, okay? And when I type that into our calculator, because we all know Miss Wolf does not know that off the top of her head, and I would be surprised if you did, it would be 15268 point, I'm going to say 0.1, and we're dealing with inches cubed. So for example number 1, our volume is going to be 15,268.1 inches cubed. Very, very, that's a lot for a volume, but that's because our numbers are big, so that's all right. So now what I would like for you to do, like before, pause this video, see if you can do example number 2, and remember the formula calls for the radius, not the diameter. So you should realize what you need to do with one of your numbers because it's asking for the radius. So again, try number 2. I'm going to pause the video, and then we'll see how you do. Alright guys, and if you do what I asked you to do, you should have an answer for example number 2 for cylinders. The answer that I received from our work is that our volume for number 2 is going to be 1,995.7. And so remember, the 5.5 came from this 11 because the 11 is the diameter, which means the radius is going to be 5.5. Okay, and then our height was the 21. So when you put that all in the calculator, you get the 1995.7. Now, I use the actual pi button for both of these, so if your answers are a little off because you might have used 3.14, that's okay. But as long as your answers are close to them, we should be all good. So make sure you have the correct work and these copied down because, again, I am checking your notes tomorrow when I get back. All right, that's all I have for notes. So this took about 11 minutes for me to record. So with that being said, maybe take you guys about 15 minutes to copy it down, honestly, if you're doing it and just paying attention to this. Your next activity is doing what is on the screen right now. So you got to go to join.quizzes.com and your access code is right there. You need to type your first and last name because I am using the same account. I'm using the same game for both first block and third block. So I have a couple of students that have the same name between first and second. So if you only put your first name, I'm not gonna be able to know who did it based off of your answers or anything. So I need you to put your first name and your last name and your actual name. If you do not put your actual name, then you will not get credit. So for instance, if I logged into join.quizzes.com, put in this access code, I would say Gene Wolf. I would not say my nickname. I would not say anything else because that is the only way you're getting credit for this assignment. This assignment is due at the end of the block. So for first block, it is due at 9:55 a.m. If you do not submit it by then you will not get credit. Again, third block, yours is going to be due at 2:09 p.m. Again, if you do not submit it by that time and you do not hit done or whatever, you will not get credit for this assignment. So please do your best on this. If you have any questions, obviously I will be here tomorrow. So let me know if you have any questions then, and then we'll get all those figured out. All right. Y'all do a good job on the quiz and be good for yourself.